because we have the FBI report that says law enforcement is sociopathic, dangerously sociopathic. So FBI had to come out and tell you about certain things. They came out and reported about the Joker movie. They said they made a statement saying the Joker movie coming out this weekend is going to cause violence. This is just an example of how the FBI operates. They're telling you this because the movie caused violence. It plants ideas and causes violence. They didn't stop the movie from coming out. But the FBI had to report prior to the showing, letting you know there's going to be more violence because of the movie. So they don't ever make an arrest. They don't ever stop anybody from doing anything. Yeah, that's why it's hard to work with those people. I don't want to work with them. I don't like them. They look retarded to me. You look stupid. If you have a movie that's coming out and the FBI is saying this movie's going to cause violence, why are you allowing the movie? We don't know. Like Grand Theft Auto, why are you allowing that video to be played out into the universe if there's like rape and murder and all this ugly shit? Your little 5-year-old's playing Grand Theft Auto and the FBI's okay with it. Or, maybe it's deemed adult for adults only or whatever. But still, it's out there. Yeah. That's just the thing. Like, just because it has a warning, it's like the FBI puts a warning label on all the Hollywood movies. Yeah. So I'm just saying, all right, so I'm just comparing how the FBI works. The FBI came out with a report saying nationwide law enforcement is suicidal, sociopathic. They're warning you because the sociopath causes violence. They're letting you know, putting a warning label on cops saying, boom, this is a sociopath. This sociopath is going to do sociopathic shit, which is dangerous, violent, cautious. Be aware. So the FBI had to come out and tell the public, be aware of these mentally ill, suicidal, sociopathic law enforcement. Do you get what the FBI is doing and why they're doing this and how they're doing? See what I'm saying? They're not making any arrests. They're not doing anything. They're warning the public that the cop causes violence, just like the Joker movie causes violence. Yeah. So we don't need to, if the FBI already deemed law enforcement sociopathic, suicidal, mentally ill through the report, then I don't need to look at law enforcement anymore. They've been deemed sociopath. So now I have to focus on what a sociopath is. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so let's look at the Joker movie. The FBI said, warning, it's going to cause violence. So now it's a warning. So how do we prevent violence? We don't. We're cautious. Don't let your kid watch the movie. Don't watch the movie or something like that. See what I'm saying? We're not going to stop cops from becoming mentally ill, suicidal. We just educate ourselves on the sociopath. We're not stopping the movie from coming out. You just need to educate yourself on what you're viewing and what you let your kids view and your society and how they react to what they see on the screens and what Hollywood's promoting. So we're focusing on studying the sociopath, correct? Okay, so back to that. So now I got to figure out what a sociopath is. Because we have, the FBI report, right? So we just go off the FBI report. So what is a sociopath? Well, they're narcissists. They're a type of narcissist. Their status means more, their social status means more to them than anybody in their life. More to them than their mom, their whoever they're fucking, their community, anybody. You do not matter. The sociopath only cares about the social status and how they're perceived to another social status group of flying monkeys. It's a type of narcissist. Right? So everyone can just now go do research on the sociopath. We don't need to focus on, whatever all this, oh, the cops are doing this and that. No. Focus on what a sociopath is. The cop only cares about social status. Fragile ego. A lot of them are miserable as fuck. Yeah, they like to fight a lot. It's just narcissistic traits. But socially driven narcissist. You can have a narcissist that doesn't give a fuck. Well, the sociopath doesn't care what you think. They care what maybe a small group of a social status think of them. They have probably flying monkeys where they have to be, I don't know, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can do your own research on the sociopath. That's what I'm doing right now. I want to take a deep dive into this sociopathic traits that they have so I could trigger them. Right? This is the enemy. I want to trigger the sociopath. What triggers a sociopath? Driving a better vehicle, making more money. Yes. All you could simply do to irritate the shit out of sociopath is to just like fake flex on them. You know what I mean? All you have to do is like present yourself. You just fake flex on them, and their ego's so fragile, they'll see you, don't know your name, and hurt inside. They'll hurt inside because they saw somebody happy driving a better vehicle. Yes, you'll hurt them inside of themselves. You can just drive by a cop in a better vehicle and you're happy, maybe with or without somebody, it doesn't matter. And that will trigger an emotion in the sociopath. Yeah. The mental illness. It's like murder rapist shit. They're murderer rapists. Right, a lot of them are going to commit suicide. They already are. The FBI needs to come out with a new report for suicide data in law enforcement. I wish they would. Maybe I haven't seen it yet. Those reports usually come out like June, July, August for prior years. So if it's for 2022, the data should be coming out in the next 6 months on law enforcement data suicide. Yeah. They're sociopath. So when they get so hurt or they have to self-reflect on themselves, they become suicidal. So you can say that when the sociopath looks in the mirror, they become suicidal because they can't stand what they see. So supposedly a sociopath can't sit alone, like on the couch or something. They always have people around to validate who they are. Because it's a sociopathic. Right, so I'm just focusing on the sociopath, not so much law enforcement. They can't sit alone. They need constant validation. Okay? Right, because they can't stand themselves. So when they self-reflect, they become suicidal. These are very fragile egos. So what else triggers the sociopath? Happiness. driving a luxury vehicle that they'll never have, they'll never own. So when you drive by the narcissist in a better vehicle than them, it hurt their ego. They have to save who they are because their ego's collapsing. So they diminish the person in the nicer vehicle. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Because it's a mental disorder. So if I drive by in a nice vehicle, their ego either has to collapse or they have to slander the person driving the vehicle and be like, oh, that vehicle's a piece of shit. They have to talk to themselves and convince themselves there's something wrong with the person driving the better vehicle. If they find a female attractive, let's just say, and the female doesn't want to have sex with the sociopath, that female's crazy and mentally ill and something's wrong with the female because that female doesn't want to have sex with the sociopath. Do you understand the mental illness? Right, so we're going to try to trigger law enforcement to kill themselves by never actually making contact with them. Okay, they're fragile sociopaths, according to the FBI. I believe them. They're suicidal. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Right, so we're going to trigger the sociopath by just not being attracted to them or driving a better vehicle. So let's take a deep dive into the sociopath and figure out how to trigger that, that ego. We get their ego to tower. We want to collapse their existing self. So they have to create a new self. Right? Like if you're if you're somebody great or grandiose, better than them, whatever, let's say you're a doctor and they see you driving around and they're like, okay, I got to find out where this doctor lives. I got to find out the doctor's name. They're making more money than me. They're looking better than me. They're making me look bad. They'll make the sociopath look bad. Like if somebody's overeducated more than them, it makes them look bad. And then they have to stalk and research the person. And the person that's getting attacked by the sociopath doesn't even know that they triggered a sociopath. And the sociopath cop is out figuring out what their name is and where they live and all this shit and running all their shit and trying to hunt them down when the person that triggered them is clueless that they even triggered the sociopath. That's when the sociopath hits rock bottom. That means you were so much better than them that they had to research your entire life without you even knowing it, without even needing you, because they were hurt so bad by some doctor's success, because it's a social status mental illness.